Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Frostgrave in Going Medieval. Now, right out of the gate, we've got a couple of little bits and bobs to take care of. A couple of comments came in fact, actually more than a couple of comments, commenting that these are impossibly long wooden beams or logs. What was I chopping down? Redwoods or something? No, it's just that I haven't put spaces, so give me just a second to fix that. And there we go. No more cutting down the lungs of the planet for us. Right, so that one has been checked off the to-do list, so a couple of people's brains will stop vibrating. Now, on to something a little bit more functional, and that is I was informed by Whisperblade, thank you very much for the comment, by the way, that, in fact, we do need to preserve saplings. So, no seeds whatsoever should be stored in the main storage area. They should all be brought down in here, because sadly what will happen is they will rot. It does take a little while for the saplings, but a decent portion of them will go if we take our eyes off the prize. So let's go ahead and just copy those details across. Can I do this nice and quickly? It looks like I can. Oh, that's fantastic. Right, so let's get all of the items down here. Oh, and actually on that note, I was also told that the healing kits do not need to be down here. So once again, I will just correct that. Oh, that's fantastic. You can actually do the whole thing in one go. That's absolutely marvelous. Healing kits will not rot, so herbs I'm guessing will, but we can just go ahead and store the healing kits out here without any problem. So there we are. Thank you very much for that, Whisperblade. Now, the last one was wall-mounted shield storage can be unlocked through the decorations. Now, we do have some decorative structures in here, and this is something we wanted to unlock for another reason anyway, because we want to be able to set up some proper rooms. But it does appear that there are decorative shield racks. Now, I was very guilty of just assuming this was pure decoration, not a functional shield, but of course, you know, why would it be? They just hang a shield on the wall. Likewise for the decorative weapon rack. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to unlock that one straight away. And in terms of placing them in here, I'm still not going to use them. The weapon rack and the shield may be used for personal quarters, so people can have their own private armory where they sleep if they've got a particular weapon they've grown fond of, perhaps. But for the sake of actual storage, I think it makes more sense for us to have some weapons racks set up to only allow shields on them, because they'll be able to store, I think it's 3 shields per, so that will be a little bit more useful for us. But thank you very much to Volpodrak for that comment. That was very, very useful. Now then, for today's job list, well, the first job I actually have is to sort out... Oh, can I not select that? Oh, that's very awkward. To sort out... Really? Can I not select it at all? I was not on the right layer. We're going to get rid of these, and I'm thinking we're going to extend out a pathway all the way along. That will then give us access to the eating area from this side, and also give us access to the rooms from the side. That way I can turn this into another bedroom. Now, I know I said I want to make distinct cottages, more like a village. Right now, this is more of a temporary, let's just get everyone in, and then we can start considering how I want to build said village. Because at the moment, this is at least defensible, and I think that's where we need to start from. We need an actual defensible area. And talking about things we need to start from as well, I'm getting a little bit concerned about the lack of wood that we're bringing in. So we're going to need to get out there and chop down quite a lot of trees. Now, there's an awful lot over on the far side over here. The problem with that is that we're going to have to go quite far in order to get it, which is a bit of an issue. Nevertheless, let's designate those trees to be chopped. But on that note, I should be able to plant trees, I believe. Now, will that come under zones? We may actually need to learn how to do it. But let me just double check. Can I set up trees here? Oh, no, actually, I can set up trees over here. Okay. Well, once again, we could set up seeding trees. Let's have a look at how that works. Because it's I haven't actually played around with these up to now, but let's say, like, if we wanted to plant a birch tree, if I pop that there, does this have any particular chance of getting multiple saplings? No, it's just one sapling, but it is a guaranteed sapling. Okay, fair enough. Let's go ahead and take that out. I'm going to set up an area for our trees outside, though. I don't feel that having that in our somewhat limited farmland makes much sense. What are we going to do? We've got 5 different species of tree. I'm not big on monoculture, even if one is, statistically the best tree to plant because it has the highest yield. I think we're going to go a little row of 6 each. Something along those lines will do. Now, is this the right way to plant trees? Absolutely not, I imagine. I can't say I've ever had to plant a tree in real life, so I wouldn't know. Actually, the apple trees will be an exception. So that means that we've got 4 regular ones. You know what? Let's move the oak trees over here. Let's just set up an oak set area there. Once these are all full, I'll actually set up a proper big area for trees. But right, you can sort of think of these as seeding stock, even though they're not really going to give us seeds, unless when they gather from the tree, they don't simply chop the tree down, but rather maybe just gather branches and the likes. It looks like they're going to get a decent yield from the mature tree over everything else, obviously. You can also say don't cut, which is interesting. Do you get... No, you get no saplings from a dead tree. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense when you think about it. But we do want a little apple orchard in here. So let's go ahead and set up a nice apple orchard. Something along these lines. This one, sure, we'll have them 2 apart. I could bring it in here, but I don't think I will. I think this should be nice enough, and we'll have a little... well, no, I don't want to have the fence too close to the trees. In my head, that would interfere with the trees being able to grow properly. Whether or not that is, in fact, how it works in-game, I don't know. Can I cut that back a bit? There we go, there's the marker for that. It's a shame you have to do it per zone, but there we are. Alright, there we are. I think that will do. And then I can add in a little bit of a fence around it as well. There we are. Lovely. This will be absolutely beautiful once the trees are grown. We'll get rid of you, though. Get you out of the way. Eventually, we may even lay some nice decorative pathing around there. I don't know. But that should be good for the time being. Now, that's given our peeps quite a lot of things to do, so I'm going to let them get some of that work done. The next thing that we're going to want to do then is focus on building this out. Eardrum now considers Soundsphere a friend. The reason was a wonderful conversation. Oh, that's marvellous. Soundsphere, you're a fantastic conversationalist, apparently. Right, well, that's been going on. Dakota, and in fact, Soundsphere now as well, are making some short work of planting all of the trees. I'm very, very happy to see that happening. We've already built the fences around here, though. There's still a few little bits here and there to work on. But a great deal of progress has been made over here. Now, this is going to be a 2-step process. I want a new bedroom over here so that we can repurpose this room, perhaps make a proper gathering hall, though I'm sort of leaning in favour of making room for some extra bedrooms down here. Maybe access from this side rather than this side. The big issue here, though, is that we are going to need to move around the beds, because Aavak was a derp and placed the beds directly opposite the door, even though I knew that that was going to be a bit of a problem. I mean, I intentionally meant not to, but I did anyway, because, yeah, like I said, I'm a derp. Right, let's pop some beds over there. These are going to be spare beds, just in case. In fact, I could, I guess, move these beds. Yes, I can. You know what? That's what we're going to do then. Let's move these over rather than faff around rebuilding them, reinventing the wheel, as it were. Let's get those beds on there. Now, I know you're going to be very unhappy about only having a chamber, but trust me, this is going to be a big upgrade for you. In not too long at all, Soundsphere won't even be very happy with the fact they've got a massive room. They're going to be like, what? Everyone else has got actual beds, though? I know I've got a huge room and all, but I kind of want to not have a bad back every morning. A group of animals, 7 deer, have arrived. Also, clothing has decayed. That is a continuing problem. All right, it's time for us to get tailoring up and running. We need to replace the clothing that we've got. It is the 7th day of summer. We've managed to make our way through our first winter with the clothing that we had. But honestly, it's literally just rotting on people. Well, I guess rotting isn't the right word. No, I guess maybe depending on the leather if it hasn't been treated properly. But their threadbare clothing is literally falling off their shoulders. It's time for us to give them something a bit better. Right, for that we're going to need a sewing station, which we should be able to just pop right there opposite this research bench. Now my goal is going to be just to keep a certain amount of different types of clothing available at all times. That would be the ideal. Now can I shimmy this across? Oh, I can. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's shimmy these. Now the reason that we need to go to this effort is, as I actually mentioned, I believe in the first episode, a wooden bed is 3 tiles, whereas a sleeping spot is only 2. It's big enough for someone to actually, scrunch themselves on top of it and, maybe ignore the itching. But the proper bed needs a proper amount of space so they can stretch out. So we're going to have to wait for them to wake up, and we'll get 2 rooms ready, and then we will move Alacramps as well. As soon as they've moved in, I can just demolish Tubman. I mean, Alacramps downstairs. Well, maybe it is Alacramp's bed, honestly. Maybe it'll become Alacramp's bed. On that note, I don't believe there is a pet sleeping spot. Bit of an oversight, if you ask me. And looking at our current food situation, all we've really got are currants, cabbages, and currant pies. So I think it's time for us to get out there and deal with a couple of those deer that just showed up. Not the boar. The boar, that's much too much for us right now. Let's have a look through here. I'm going to assume the deer that have the young right underneath their name, or maybe above their name, are the parents of said young, so we're going to leave those ones alone. If I can, I would prefer to take out the elders. And are there many bucks? There are quite a lot of bucks. Ooh, okay. We will leave the youngest adult buck, and that is way too many young'uns. I'm almost tempted. But I'm going to resist. There we go. Get out there. Now, of course, by going for the adults, we are actually exposing our colonists to a little bit more danger, because they at least have a 2% chance of fighting back, whereas the young will just try to run away from the ouch sticks that keep hitting them out of nowhere. But here we are, the survival of the fittest, and apparently the criteria for fittest in this game is whoever is holding the bow. That's true of raids as it is of hunting. Unless you're dealing with a ball. In which case, the fitness criteria is which one of you is the ball. Fermenting fruit juice is fermented in the stockpile and turned into rough wine. Fantastic, we've got drinks. Finally, we've got some more fermenting. It's just fruit juice. We've got mash. Where is the rough wine, though? That is the question that is on everyone's lips. There we go, rough wine. Marvelous. Now, if we have a look at this, this will decompose, never, because it's not exposed to anything. It will rot in 12 days, but it'll ferment in 31 days. Now, you might be wondering, what on earth does wine ferment into? Nothing that they necessarily want to drink, but something they might want to cook with, perhaps. Now, I would very much like to expand out our larder. In fact, we could probably afford to go all the way back. Now, do I really want this to be all one long room? I'm not really sure about that. Let's try and... I wish they would give me a display on how many tiles something is. But I think we're going to have distinct rooms, sure, with 6 storage. So if we take these away, then we can space this out to have 6 storage items in it. And then another door. Now, do you need to have that? Not really. But it might be useful to have designated walkway areas. In fact, to that end, I might even have this as a path going in this direction. That way we can kind of have rooms without necessarily needing to put doors in, because every door actually adds to the heat. Now, despite my claim that this was in fact a lap of luxury, these rooms are apparently still awful. If we have a look inside, the impressiveness is awful, and this is based on the spaciousness, the wealth, and the beauty, the aesthetic value. Now, if we look over here, this share chamber is modest. It's got a lower aesthetic value by a considerable amount. Wealth, though, is a bit higher by 20 total, and it is considerably, over 5 times as spacious. As much as I hate to say it, we might actually need to expand our plans and move to a 3x3 for each room, if we want them to lose the slept in an awful room debuff, which, I'll be honest, I kind of do. So we might have to rebuild this wall over there. Now, that isn't something I necessarily want to do right now. And I'm somewhat resistant to making this just 2 rooms, but that does seem to be the direction we're going in. Huh. Okay, well, this is not what I had planned, but when needs must, I guess. We will need to build a separate dining area, but I could make this into 4 bedrooms instead. But that does mean that we lack another bedroom, which isn't really great. Well, I suppose for the time being, if nothing else, I can at least make our religious settlers a little bit happier. Oh, we've got another merchant caravan, so that probably means we're not going to be facing any raids this time. But the way we can do this, if we have a look at the top here under show overlay of rooms, we can look for the type of room we want, a Church of Restitution Chapel. You need at least 2 wall decorations and 1 shrine, and it's much the same for the Oak Brethren. So, at the very least, I can give peeps a proper shrine to, chapel to pray in, and that should go some distance to mitigating their displeasure at the fact that they're not able to sleep in a proper bedroom. Can I get that to hook onto the wall? There we go. So those 2 will now be proper rooms. Now, to make a kitchen, we are going to need a little bit more than I currently have to be able to do that, since we've only got a campfire, not a stove. Still, it's something we can work on. Furthermore, I wouldn't mind setting up a merchant stall if I could, just to make sure that our merchants come into town properly. Maybe we could set this stall up there. That shouldn't be a bother to anyone. Right about there would be nice, just so I know where the merchant is. On that note, do we have anyone wandering around the premises who isn't one of our settlers? No, not yet. Okay. Well, I need to wait for the merchant to arrive so we can have a peruse of their wares. Oh my good lord. The merchant has brought a small retinue of fighters. David, I hope you have amazing things to trade. Also, I'm not going to be trying to barter with David. David seems like the sort of person who would not take kindly to us messing them around. Now, I believe it's always going to be Tubman, so let's go ahead and grab you and get you to chat with David, shall we? Oh, fantastic. You were close by it. Let's have a look. Okay, you've got quite a lot of things for us to look at. Okay, I have looked through. It seems that they're arms and armor merchant. We're going to pick up a shield, 2 pieces of armor, and a warhammer. In exchange, I'm selling a lot of gear that has extremely low hit points, so they're probably just literally falling apart. Some tallow, lots of food, 1 flimsy short sword, since we're going to be replacing it with something more substantial, and a good amount of chronicles. It's going to take us a bit of time to recover the knowledge that we're about to trade away, but it is in the pursuit of keeping our people safe. So I feel that that is absolutely acceptable. There we go. Thank you ever so much. And our speechcraft skill went up by 2. Wow. And the Faithful Sons of England, 1 alignment increase with them. That was absolutely worth it, in my opinion. Absolutely worth it. Now, on that note, let's go ahead and have a quick peek through here, see how people are set up. I'm happy for you to drop this, honestly. Can I tell you to? Yes, I should be able to tell you to drop that one, simply because it's a force-worn item, and I want you to have the choice to switch things up as you see fit. There we go, that should be good enough, and you'll equip whatever when you get the chance. Alright, well, we've still got loads of work to do and an awful lot of wood that we need yet to gather. Have we chopped down everything from the outside that I told you to chop down? No, we've got a lot of stuff yet to do. However, the orchard, well, I guess the crops of wood over there that we planted is doing okay. At this point, I think I want to start planting a decent amount over here, because when I was looking through the trader, I noticed we had enormous amounts of seeds. In fact, can I bring that up at all? Seeds, right there. We've got 28 birch, 39 oak, 37 maple, and 1 pine. So I think we could do with, at least for birch, oak, and maple, some long sections of trees that will help us manage our wood needs in the future. Okay, the tailor station has been built, so it's time for us to actually start setting up some orders. Now, we've got caps, we've got wide hats, we've got summer clothes, and winter clothes. That seems reasonable. Alright, well, let's set up the hats first. This is going to require probably just hay to make, yeah. Let's make until we have as many as we have people in the colony. We'll set that up to 5. We will also set up a dismantle items for cloth job that will break down gear that is of a low quality. We're also going to want this for caps, do until we have 5. We'll just have like one spare one on top. Then summer clothes, and hopefully we can in fact continue to accrue these. Can we have multiple jobs? Yes, we can. Perfect. And then winter clothes as well. Do until we have 5. Now, it doesn't seem that we have as much in the way of options. The wide hat, it's literally just is what it is. Can we tell them to make them to a certain quality? No. Alright, so with RimWorld, you can dictate that it has to be of a certain quality, otherwise it doesn't count. And it won't be counted in the total that you've made up to, for example. With the clothing, that seems the same, and then over here. Now, what I would like to do is for winter clothing to be made of leather, but at the moment, we are somewhat lacking in materials, so until we've got a steady income of materials that I can... the less said about that, the better, frankly. I've already got a bit of a reputation. Now, with regards to the materials, once we have a steady supply of materials, I would like to try and make sure the winter clothes are made out of warmer materials and summer clothes are made out of things like linen. Definitely not wool, but, you know, that'll be for a future Frostgrave. Now, let's set up the dismantle items for cloth. Can I dictate? Ah, fantastic. We can. Marvelous. Anything below 60, anything below 60 hit points should be broken down, of any quality. So just go ahead and break all of that down. Doesn't matter as long as the hit points are below 60. And then another one where it doesn't matter what the hit points are. If it is flimsy, then break it down. That should keep us with a good amount of materials, and this should also get rid of, for example, if we make winter clothing and it's really bad, they'll just get rid of it. Right now, if it's sturdy or above, I'm happy to keep it. Dakota is already busy making some new clothing, but now I've moved the dismantle jobs higher in priority so that we'll get, if something is made and it's of low quality, they'll immediately scrap it down. That way we don't end up filling our warehouse or our stockpiles with items that are only going to get pulled apart later on. But we also just fermented some dubious booze. What exactly makes booze dubious? Exactly, I've no idea. But it doesn't ferment into anything else, it just rots in 12 days. Hopefully we can get the rest of the digging done, but I've got a lot of jobs for our peeps right now, so they're kind of focusing on that. Tubman out here is planting the trees that will be used in future constructions, and Beatram and Dakota are now friends. So that one day, when one of them inevitably takes an arrow to the eyeball, they will lose their mind and just leap over the wall in a moment of berserker frenzy, laying waste to the entire enemy invading force, only coming to after the last man, woman / youngling has perished, just covered in gore and blood. Ah, friendship. It's so beautiful. I love games that give you that sense of how the world is being used. Just by having this path slowly worn in, or rather quickly worn in, as people are running back and forth. But we've almost finished the final bit of planting for now. I'm not going to use up all of the seeds that we have, simply because I never think that's wise. I think you should always keep a little bit of a store of seeds. Given that we are keeping them in a relatively cool environment, we should be able to keep them for quite some time. So there are backup seeds. That being said, also, I don't really want them running over here because it takes them a long time to get here, and I want them to do other jobs. But right now, Tubman and Soundsphere are pretty much focused on trying to get these things planted. So there's an awful lot of walking for them every single day. Now, Dakota has, for the most part, just been focused on tailoring, and as a consequence, they're up to 3 caps. We haven't started work on the summer clothes or the winter clothes yet, but we are indeed getting there. And the fact that I have broken down the clothing that they were previously wearing that was of a low hit points or low quality, I can be certain that the amount of winter clothes we have are actually decent, so we don't need to worry too much about them. Now, we've finally gotten back to where we were before I sold a bunch of our chronicles. We can get decorative banners or decorative structures. Neither of these are particularly high on my list of things to do, if I'm perfectly honest. I think instead what I would really like to do is focus either on defensive structures so we can get some better mechanical wooden traps. Also a reinforced door, though that requires smelting. So maybe smelting would be something to go for. That's going to require 30 chronicles. Alternatively, wooden weaponry, which only requires 20, and I think that might be where we need to aim for. Simply so that we not only have some decent clothing, but we also have some decent weapons for our people. Again, there are only 4 people, and we're probably going to be attacked by more than 4 people when the next attack arrives. Now, given all of that, what's everyone up to? Praying, writing, drinking, and enjoying entertainment. Now praying. Okay, well, that's reasonable. Booze and religion, pretty common pairing in most situations, if I'm perfectly honest. Salvation, the looters. Appearing deranged at first, Loretta was simply overcome with terror. A pitiful, stumbling corpse with wheals from binding and harsh beatings by a cruel master. Loretta begged, "Hide me. I'll die if I'm caught." Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. Oh, 18 speechcraft. You're hired. You're age 25. You don't actually seem to have any religious alignment. Your background was a Yorkist armourer. Ooh. Possibly very, very attractive for us then. You've also got a hidden perk, but of course, we decided to help. Loretta, let's have a quick look at you first and foremost. We need to know what your true name is. Appearing a little bit embarrassed at first, because there is definitely a story to a name like this. Loretta's true name is actually I Know How to Soup. However, we can't fit that in. I know to soup. That'll just have to be it. I know... you know what? No to soup. Actually, to soup. We have descended to the point where having to use numbers in someone's name. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Your perk. Oh, you're moribund. Loretta often has an unwholesome smell emanating from fetid bandages. She is slow to heal when injured. Hit point recovery minus 35, motor function minus 20, and wound regeneration minus 35. Well, I guess. I Know to Soup could bend anything to her will, especially bright metal. Formerly apprenticed to a master from Chartres, I Know to Soup's hammer and nimble fingers had worked long years in the armories of the London Arsenal. She had saved countless lives. Following the plague, I Know to Soup thought it was bleeding obvious that the royals were to blame, cutting England to the bone because of their silly French war. She had pitched in willingly to help shore up York's defences. Someone had to make a stand. Smithing plus 12, carpentry plus 5, construction plus 3, and melee plus 3. Okay, you know what? You've redeemed yourself somewhat, given your amazing skills. Now to set you up with jobs and a schedule. Okay, based on I Know to Soup's preferred skills, we're going to set you up as primarily a smith, but when smithing isn't an option, you can work on construction and carpentry and finally a bit of tailoring as well. You're said to be a pretty good all-rounder when it comes to the crafting skills, so I'm actually looking forward to having you join us. Also, an extra set of hands will be of massive help in getting everything built up downstairs. Now, this does now present a problem. We were going to set up extra bedrooms, but now that is looking increasingly like it would be a bad idea. Alright, so given that, I may have to redefine my initial plans. How about instead we make this all one building up top with 4 private bedrooms, 1 shared chamber, and a central eating area. It's something that we could do, definitely. It would give the 4 people who have the nice bedrooms, something to brag about. And we could definitely give them to the first people who have joined us, but then slowly transition out to other rooms as time presents itself. Either that, or we build a dining hall with a bedroom on top. That is also another option. But I think having the 2 most recent members of the colony sharing some shared chambers, I think that's okay. Autumn has arrived. Autumn blustered in with crisp mornings and cooler days. It was the season to prepare for winter, tailoring warm clothing and stocking up on food and supplies. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And on that note, probably time for us to close the windows. So let's set everything to be closed, and also set all of the braziers now to have medium priority, but medium intensity as well. I wonder if I can set all of the braziers to only use sticks. I should be able to do that. Yes, perfect. Okay, make sure they're all turned on. There we go. That will help. We do now have our merchant stall as well, which I'm actually pretty happy with. We can remove it, but why would I want to do such a thing? No, no, no. Okay, well, let's have a look. Dakota is working on more and more clothing. We're currently working our way through the summer clothes, but given that winter is right around the corner, I'm going to say let's pump up winter clothes as the higher priority for now. Alright, it looks like we're also getting the shrine decorations in place. That's fantastic. People will be ever so happy about that one. Okay, now all that remains is to get people ready for the fight that is coming our way. You know what? I don't have any other helmets, so you can put anything on, and also we don't have any other armor. Maybe having I know to soup with the spear actually isn't a bad idea, considering they can stand at the back, behind the shields. Yes. Okay, it also looks like we've managed to get up to wooden weaponry, so it is high time to unlock this. Now, this is going to give us 2 separate workshops. We've got the woodworker bench and the bowyer's table. Now, given that, I think we are going to need a new structure for this one. Something over here, perhaps, if we set up a woodworker's bench here and a bowyer's table, we can pop right there. Now, it doesn't strictly need to be an entire structure. It just needs to have a roof over it, just so that folk won't complain that they're getting rained on. So let's go ahead and set something up for this. Maybe we only bring out the support walls about so far out. That should be fine. We can then draw in these walls like so. Have a window here and a window there. Let's actually centralize them. There we go. And then a door in the middle. Now, we could just leave it with an open structure, but honestly, I think this will be nicer, especially as we're about to go into winter, so it's going to get quite cold for them. Let's make sure that these are all set up correctly. There we go. And then the same down here as well. In fact, you know what? Let's just have all of these be like so, and these 2 then can just be side walls. That actually works out quite nice for me, at least by my reckoning. Now, as for the roof, I think we can go with a wicker roof, but let's go with a wicker roof like this. I think that will do well enough. There we are. That will give us a new workshop to settle into. I would very much like to get these bedrooms done before the end of this episode, but considering we've got the search party arriving in 12 hours, I don't think we're going to have the time to do that. These are of a higher priority for me to get up and running anyway, just because, again, like I've said, we are struggling a little bit with having proper weapons and armor to give our peeps, and that is only going to get worse as more peeps arrive. Now, if we have a look downstairs, I'm expanding this out. You'll notice that I've also designated a new area to be expanded down here. Now, this one is going to actually have flooring on, and it is specifically going to be for me bringing in the stimulants rather than having them over here slowly rotting. That can all go down here, but that is going to require that this area has flooring to allow me to store the items in there. So what I might do is just have like some storage along the walls just for the rough booze and the rough wine and the dubious booze. We'll see how that goes. At some point, we welcomed a cat into our colony, and I just don't know when that was. So, okay, sure. Let's train our cat. Hello, Moritz. Can I give you a different name, Moritz? Yes, I can. Well, in another bitter twist of fate, not only has Chaoticles decided to pick a rather interesting name for a cat, it's also too long. So instead of hey look a chicken, you will be look a chick. It does change the meaning of the name somewhat, but here we are. Welcome. Training attempts made today. One cannot be targeted by predators. Okay, that's very nice to see. Domestic animals will roam around your settlement. They can go through doors and gates unless can't go through them unless led while roped. Well, hopefully you're going to have a nice life here. You can't be attacked by enemies, which is grand. And we have both the wood turners and the bowyer's table. So at this point, I can make cudgels, I can make spears. I can also dismantle for wood. We've also got the ability to make short bows, and honestly, we've got more people right now than I want as meleeers. So I would very much like a short bow to be made. In fact, I would like us to always have, let's say, well, we don't need 5 specifically, but sure, make 5 just so that I can break down any that are particularly bad. You will break down anything that's made of wood, so this is good for us. You can do that if its hit points drop below 60 once again, and pretty much do forever on that one. If it is below a certain amount, there we go. And then another one as well. Dismantle forever if it is flimsy. There we go, that should take care of everything for us. And let me just make sure that that was actually done over here. No, I set them up to only do it once. My bad. I saw it, I was like, wait a second, I didn't do this, did I? The other one we will set up for, again, 5 spears, it's fine, just to make sure that we've got some decent ones, and cudgels as well. And given that the bowyer's table is already taking care of breaking them down, I don't need to add that job over here, but I guess I will anyway, just to be thorough. Aiming attempt successful. Marvellous. Let's have a look at you. Protected from predators by Tubman and Soundsphere. They will not let anyone harm our beloved Look a Chicken. No, you are safe here, Look a Chicken. You are slightly hungry, though, so perhaps one of them can get you some noms, or... Yeah, what? Oh, I thought that was Look a Chicken. I was like, really? After one training attempt, you're already hauling? My lord. I need to get you to teach the Rimworld animals how it's done. Alright, violent extortionists. The looters. The brute spoke, soft but menacing. I know to soup belongs to me. Hand over my slave, or you will all suffer. They were deadly serious. Frostgrave's defiant settlers refused to bow to the assailants' demands. You stood your ground, refusing to give in to their demands. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have, though. Okay, let's have a look. We've got 1 short bow, 1 long bow. Oh, we're going to be very happy if we can take that off you. And that is it. Okay, so only 2 ranged fighters. I like it. At this stage, though, we pretty much need everyone inside. So let's grab absolutely everyone. Are they attacking yet? Or are they just chilling out? You know what? If they're just chilling out, then I'm going to allow you to continue to do your thing. But let's have a quick gander. Are you properly equipped? Oh, they're already on their way. Okay, never mind then. It is literally now or never. So, everyone get together, draft, head over here. That is to say, everyone head over here. Can I not just tell the whole group to move? No, it doesn't appear that I can. Oh dear, you're quite far away. You should get back before they get to us. But of course, it is Tubman. Okay, well, that's a bit of a pain. Right, Beatram, let's get you up top. You head up. I want Soundsphere with the best shield there. Dakota behind. I know to soup behind again with the spear. Tubman, gonna want you up and high on the walls. And Arrestes. Wrong game, Aavak. Alacrams is, or should be, following Tubman closely. Alright, here they come. They're beating a trail through the grasses. Now, we want to focus on... Oh, no. Alacrams, why are you heading back out? No. That is worrisome. Domestic. No, not into battle. No hauling. Only vermin control. Could I get you to follow? Battle-trained animals will follow the settler they are assigned to when the settler is drafted. Okay, maybe then? Could you follow your settler? That's right. Head in. Good, Alacramps. Oh no, can you not get past? Okay, out the way. Let Alacramps through. There, come on, Alacramps. Move. Move now. Please don't make me have to make this decision. Don't make me choose between you and the entire colony. Will you stand down if I turn you off battle? Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I was quite concerned. Not gonna lie. Alright, they're going for our pyres. That's fine by me. We want to aim for their ranged units. So that would be you, Rosa. Let's take Rosa out. Where's your longbowman? Sylvester. Sylvester? Alright, let's have a watch here. Where is Soundsphere going? Uh-oh. You shouldn't be selected, Soundsphere. Let's make sure that you're back there, please. I did select you, however. That's on me. Can I lock this door? I should be able to lock it. Good. Alright, there we are. Alright, let's take out Rosa. We've only hit Rosa once or twice. Sylvester's gone quite close, though. Let's go for Sylvester, then. You might have a better angle on them. Ooh, Tubman, you have to draw back from the defenses in order to do that. So instead, you focus on Rosa. There we are. That'll be a bit of a better fight for us. Not the best hit there. I think Beatram has just taken a hit. Targeted by them. Have you actually taken a hit? No, never mind. Okay, they're slowly working their way through, but mostly they don't know what to do, which I'm absolutely okay with. Alacramps doesn't know what to do either, unfortunately. But at least you're safe inside. Our defenses are doing exactly what they're meant to do, and they are blocking an awful lot of their hits. Oh, my lord, though. What I wasn't doing was paying attention to what was going on over here. Of course, Rosa isn't going for us. They're going for our meleeers. That is duly noted. Going to need to improve the defenses here. Build a little shield wall there to make sure that they can't attack. Now, of course, now is when they're coming up. That's very frustrating. Okay, we'll head back in. Rose has moved off now, so we shouldn't have to worry too much about it. I know Tsuit, you can get back, and Dakota can move over to the side. Impressive, though, as they really haven't taken much damage, despite having been targeted for so long. Great, Rose has moved into position. Sylvester is almost down. And Sylvester is down. That's fantastic. Okay, finish off Rosa. They're your primary target right now because they're the only ones that can hurt you. And if we must, I can always retreat our defenders into the tower itself. That's brilliant. Both ranged opponents are down. Now, Tubman, from this position, can you attack them? Because if you can, then that is going to be amazing. No. That's a shame. That is a dire shame. What I might want to do then is have some sort of structure built out to this over here, so that you can walk to the far side and shoot in. Yeah, that's a shame. I might be able to get a shot, because I was hopeful. I was very hopeful. Can you actually move there? Let's see. Can you attack? No. You absolutely can't. Okay, well, then just attack people as they come in. Whilst Beatram is focusing on the people outside. Eventually they're going to have to group up here. I don't know. Tubman, I really need you to not move from this spot, but I think that might be a tall ask, unfortunately. So you just attack who you can. Get some wounds on everyone. It is more important that I've got a little bit of wounding on every single opponent than a lot of wounding on one opponent. Because we may be able to dole out a couple of like hand wounds, leg wounds, that sort of thing. I'm going to tell you to stop specifically targeting, and the same for you. You are now free to pick your targets. Go for targets of opportunity as they present themselves. Richard took a good hit there. Tubman doesn't seem to be very effective where they're stood, so maybe if we move across here, you'll get some better shots. No, it really does seem that my original plan is not going all too well. Now, Raymond, what are you equipped with, Raymond? You appear to have a war fork that also appears to be quite ineffective at dealing with our door. I am A-okay with this. Can Tubman get any shots? No. Well, given that, maybe Tubman could go downstairs. Beatrim is doing a good bit of work up top here, so I'm not inclined to move you. You're actually doling out the damage right now. From here, Tubman should be able to get some shots in from time to time. But it does seem unfortunate as it stands. Oh, they're starting to cluster in there little by little. But honestly, this is just showcasing that I need a better design. Maybe a second tower. So we've got a proper gatehouse at that point. In fact, that's actually not a bad idea. 2 towers flanking an actual gate area that would allow us to rain arrows down from either side, depending on the situation. That would, in turn, also offer up a effective shield wall for the defenders at this point. But this is by far one of the most anticlimactic battles we've had. Right, they're finally through the door, so hopefully Tubman can get involved. Right, let them come to us. Don't move from your spot. There we go. Right, I want you to all attack as best you can. There we go. As they approach, just mow them down. Tubman, you can in fact go down on this level. You can just stand by the window and take shots as it pleases you. Right, as they come through now, Soundsphere does have a really nice shield. They do have a spear user. Can you attack? I think you're doing a good job. You're going for Gerard, though, who isn't actually an attacker, so I'm not sure if that's the best thing. Soundsphere has taken a bit of a hit. Dakota, could you target Thomas? That's perfect. Same with Soundsphere. Could you target Thomas? There we are. Let's deal with the one in front of you. There you go. Perfect. Oh, the shield is gone. Well, poop. What were you equipped with? Oh. Right, yeah. Massive flail. And Soundsphere is down. That was it. The moment that shield was gone, that was the end. 7 sworn enemies died during the fight. The beleaguered settlers came under attack in the autumn of 1353. The ordeal lasted for 7 hours. This was a 7-hour battle. That's like a work day. Now, granted, for 3 of the people, they were just stood there on guard waiting for something to happen. But 2 of them were shooting arrows that entire time. And if you've done any archery yourself, you know how much of a toll, like an hour's worth of archery practice, you feel that in your arms. Like, if it's anything more than just, literal accuracy and you're not really trying it. If you're properly drawing your bow and you've got a bow that's weighted for your draw strength, that 7 hours of that, I wouldn't be able to use my arms for the next 2 days. Soundsphere took the most damage from the enemy, thinking only of defending Frostgrave. Beatrim was the bravest settler, dealing the most damage, and Dakota blocked the most hits. It should be recorded. Really? Not Soundsphere? Interesting. Considering you were over there. Oh, dear me. They're still going for it. Okay, get in there. Deal with them as best you can. Tubman, you can come up top. I'm going to need you to get some shots in. Dakota is not letting Kip get away. At this point, you're good. You're good. You don't need to chase any further. Beatrim and Tubman will deal with the scallywags who are trying to get away. That shouldn't be a concern for you. Could someone, rescue Soundsphere, maybe? or not. Maybe they should be just left there, I guess. Well, okay, pretty much everyone in this fight took a little bit of damage. 2 people are bleeding, Soundsphere and I know to soup. And Dakota, well done. You're carrying the poor Soundsphere, gouting blood everywhere, over to a bed so that hopefully one of the others can take care of them. And it is now time for us to do cleanup. But obviously that's going to have to wait for the next episode. Looking at the time, we are all out of time. I do hope you have enjoyed, though. Will be joining me For the next, I'm going to busy myself setting up the pyres once again. Honestly, considering they just break them, maybe one pyre is enough. I'll build 2, I suppose. But or maybe we just have a couple on the inside as well. One outside, one sacrificial pyre, and then a couple actually internal to our walls. But I do like the idea of building a real wooden gatehouse over here. I think that idea is actually really, really cool, and would definitely help us out if we had another tower on this side, pretty much a mirror of this one, that could rain arrows down on anyone attacking the door. That is probably what we're going to be focusing on in the next episode, along with trying to reign some sort of control over the current sleeping arrangements, which are subpar. But that is going to be it from me. I hope you've enjoyed. Once again, always look forward to any feedback down in the comments below. But until next time, from myself and everyone still alive here in Frostgrave, which is all of us for now, do take care.